All right, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
Well, the reveal is here, and
What a bunch of
our accuracy was pretty good.
yeah. What a bunch of random stuff they revealed though, I will say.
I like random. I like when they have a little surprise pick in there,
Yeah.
something that people weren't expecting, unless they were like have an inside or been following the clues really hard. But I would say pleasantly surprised to some of it. Some old world stuff, very disappointing, I will say,
Yeah.
given that my boys, the Tomb Kings,
That's okay.
didn't get featured once at all. I
That
mean,
means I'll be featured next time.
yeah, you think so?
Yeah. I mean they're one of the launch armies, so
True, they are. It would. You think they would be the starter box, the two-player box set?
yeah, I think it's gonna be them and Bretonians.
That would be pretty cool. Well, I say we get into this news cycle, shall we? And the first thing we're going to talk about is we don't really talk about it on this show, but now that something is happening with it, the past 2 years they've been doing this 40 years of Warhammer, and it's culminated into a 40 years celebrated box here with a bunch of goodies. Not really anything I would want out of this box, to be honest, but
Yeah, it's all just like swag, so
you
yeah.
get your Warhammer cup, you get your 40-year poster here with all the art of Marines, elves, dwarves, whatever. You get this shirt, which is kind of whatever, just a beaky and a Bretonian helmet. Book, which is it's okay. It's not a bad looking book. The cup, obviously, and some stickers if you want to swag out something. And then the hoodie with the golden throne on the other side, on the back side. Other than that, if you want to get yourself a little swag box, go for it. You have until the 22nd to pick this up. So, best of luck. So let's get on to the real news here. The Sunday preview. Let's see what we got for pre-order. Today we got the Runes of Jardalin, the Necromunda campaign book coming out, as well as the Vansar Waste Arachnorig
In plastic.
in plastic. Thank God, because I'm pretty sure I told the story before, but I bought my friend one of the Arachnorigs. Obviously, the littler version of it. Shit was like $80, and that was all Forge World Finecast that I bought at LVO. Expensive birthday gift. But yeah, so you can get these good looking models, plastic. Probably going to be $80 since you're going to get two of them, but hey, it's better than one.
Mhm.
Getting that, getting the Vansar cards as well. Got some Underhive transfer sheets if you want to stylize your army a bit more. We also got the Psyker, the little cephalopods that we talked about 2 weeks ago, I want to say.
Mhm.
A very cool looking model and models with her. The upgrade kit. And then we got some made to order classic units, it looks like. Space Wolves, Grey Knight.
I think it's a plastic what's his called what's his face? Deathwatch Captain Artemis as well, which is kind of cool.
Just these models really show their age, especially the servitors there.
Hmm.
Ooh, not not good looking. Really makes you appreciate the HDFI of the new models. But I mean, you look at that Terminator, Space Wolf Terminator. Don't got that anymore. Nothing, no Terminator with that much detail for the Space Wolves. So it's kind of a shame to lose something like that. The little bits of identity, but yeah, I wouldn't be picking any of these old models up. Just me personally. But if you want to collect some nostalgia, now's your time to get some made-to-order models. So we got that. We got the Trader Champion for 30K.
Speaking of good-looking models, though,
Good-looking models, yes. Something that you'd be proud to show on the table. I assume you're picking up like 5 of these.
oh yeah, at least 5 for each of my legions. No, I'm for sure getting one. Not sure which legion he'll go to. Probably Dark Angels, because the honestly, I'll shave the center eye out so he could be a loyalist, and it's kind of good to go. Just need to find a place for a Mark III Marine, maybe with a Deathwing command squad. Actually, yeah, there you go.
Yep, so there's that guy. Black Library, End of Death Volume 2, going to paperback. You got the collector's edition book if you want to buy that big book right there. The World Bearers Omnibus if you want to collect some classic stories. Deadman
And then the
Walking.
Death being out is kind of nuts. That's the second to last book for Horus Heresy, so quite excited for that. Definitely gonna boost the Horus Heresy hype, but looking forward to it. The last book was pretty quality, so I'm hoping this. Well, I am confident this one will be as well.
You think it'll live up to the hype?
I think so.
I don't know.
It has to. It has to live to the hype.
You know how critical gamers are now.
I mean,
How we love to hate everything.
yes. Well, they could suck it. I'll enjoy it myself.
Well, I pray that it ends well. I still have, how many books are there?
70, including Siege of Terror.
I still got like 69 books to go through, so
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's Dan Abnett ending the whole thing, it's going to be consistent. I think it's going to be fine. He usually, when there's high expectations, he delivers. So
let us hope. So we got that. The omnibus, we just went over. The Dead Man Walking going audio. Forge of Mars and Catechins being translated. More translated. Warhammer Plus, Lore Master, and a battle report. Age of Sigmar, no list. And I think that is it. That is it. So, model wise, it's very Necromunda focused. So, Necromundas rejoice. You guys are back in the limelight, getting all the models again. But we also have some Horus Heresy epic to talk about. They showed off the 4 tanks here, 4 different variants of the Land Raiders.
I mean, hooray, right? Spartans and Land Raiders, we're good. I mean, at this point, right? Like, it's just like, hey, by the way, here's even more proof that we're releasing every vehicle at epic scale. So I'm glad for it. I mean, not particularly too exciting, but yeah, here we go.
I mean, it's a game, right, that you would want everything to be in there.
Right,
Day one kind of deal, right?
right.
So it's good. It's good that we're just getting bit pieces, but I mean, at this point, just give me the release date. I just want to know when this game is gonna come out.
Yeah, I mean, I at this point I actually hope it's next year, so I could finish my other projects.
I think it's gonna be next year.
I hope so. I'm fine with that. I would like that.
I don't think I don't think they'd be coming out this year, but we'll see. And then I think the last thing we got before the big event that happened was more Necromunda. We get the squat vehicle for Ashways coming out, which fits in line with what we've been seeing with Votan. So I I we all know my opinion on squats and their vehicle design and their design in general. I'm not a fan. So if this is something that excites you, more power to you, but not me on this one. And then we also got this special character right here. The Last Charter Lord Jaldun.
It looks very Caradron like.
Well, I mean, that seems to be the only thing they can really do, right?
I guess so, yeah, because the design is already very similar.
But yep, you getting that? I think that is it. Oh, and then one more bounty hunter down here as well. Squat with the sniper rifle and the little robot. Help him out. Very cool though. But time to get to the real news. The big event that happened Friday. What is that? Friday. Happened Friday. And yeah, I'd say our predictions were pretty good. We pretty much nailed everything. I'd say except for maybe like one thing. But shall we just get into this?
Let's do it.
All right then. We're just gonna go in order of release here. So first thing we got Necrons. We got the Stormlord, which
I called that, right? I'm pretty sure I called that.
I didn't write it down on what we called.
I think I called that. I was like, I hope it's a special character like Imhotep.
Yeah, I remember saying that it was gonna be a character for the Necrons. You probably said a special character.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were pretty much right.
Yeah, because I think what I wanted not necessarily Imhotep, but instead of making new characters, just to convert the resin ones into plastic. So that's what we're getting.
Well, I mean the resin character models could really use some HDify right now, given how they look. So I'm proud. I am happy that the Stormlord has been upgraded. I kind of wish they did a little more with him. I don't know, like some lightning effects or anything like that, since he is the Stormlord. But whatever, it's fine. He looks good as he is, but I would have gone with another character close to my heart. But we got that, and then we got the Codex also revealed. We got some stratagems also revealed, which we just gotta wait and see till we get some more core rules going off here.
I actually really like the Imhotep model. This is almost making me want to play Necrons. I mean, realistically, I won't, but this is really cool.
No, you had Necrons, didn't you?
I did have Necrons and I sold them.
I still have Necrons.
They were actually painted. If I was gonna play Necrons again, I'm glad I sold them because I would want to paint the classic scheme because yeah, I really like this silver scheme. Dang, he looks really cool.
It's a nice model. But yeah, if I recall, I said character for Necrons and a new unit for the Admech. And lo and behold, we got a ridiculous looking model for the AdMech. They got little spring legs now.
This is the most like. Here's the thing: regardless of how people feel, if it's a good model, a bad model, a dumb model, a silly model, whatever, I think I will confidently say this is a Mechanicus model. Like the design cue is there of like super weird, practical but not really kind of thing. It's like, hey, like it's just ridiculous. It's very John Blanche. It's very grim, like grim dark in a grim derp almost way. It's just silly.
It's definitely a
And
grim derp.
yes, in a good way, in my opinion.
I just I saw this, and the only thing that came to my mind was Inspector Gadget.
Yes, he also seems OP. So because it seems like he has lone operative and stealth, and he's a character. So he seems really good to be like a backfield objective monkey because you know you can't shoot him.
It's basically the what's he called? Vindicar, right?
Yeah, he's like an assassin almost.
But strictly just a sniper.
Hmm.
But we also got that. We also got the Codex also revealed, which I didn't watch the live stream, but I don't think they gave a release date for the books here. Skimming through this article really fast. No, they didn't. But these are the two next armies to come out, so probably expect it next month in November. Would be my guess on when these one of these books will be coming out, which I think Necrons would be the next book. So I think Necrons will be out first, and then it'll be the AdMech in terms of release date. So probably early November, late November, early December for AdMech would be my guess. But yeah, that's what we got for 40K. 40K didn't dominate the event because there's something else that dominated the event. There's a lot of reveals that they showed off,
Hmm.
but that's what we got here. Moving on to the next thing, we got interesting model here. I can't place my finger on what this model reminds me of, but we got a Sigmarine on a dragon here.
Yep, Iona's Cryptborn. So yeah, it's the freaking high elf dragon. Straight up.
Yeah, we got a chaplain riding a dragon.
It's interesting because this guy, you know how like in the starter box sets they write lore. I mean, like when you get a starter box, right? Like it's a generic character, but in the lore of the box, they're supposed to represent specific characters.
Uh-huh.
So this guy is supposed to be the first Lord Relictor, which is the Stormcast Chaplain for Age of Sigmar in the first Age of Sigmar starter box. So the guy with this, I think they show him here as well. He's the guy with the carrying the skeleton. Like that's him. He's the first Lord Relictor, both in lore and in game in terms of the model. So it's kind of cool to revisiting that. Kind of a random character to revisit, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's an interesting dragon model.
I went through a complete costume change there, huh?
Yeah, for real. And art, repainted his armor.
That is interesting. I did not follow that bit of lore.
Iona's Cryptborn. He is the first Lord Relictor, and of course, he will be available in a box with other units. Thankfully, it's just two dragons. It's not too much. I don't think it's not like six trolls, right? Where it's like, oh gosh, it's a lot of models that come with them.
Yeah, but they're still big models too.
Oh
So
yeah, they're still there. They are big models. You're right.
well, memes, jokes aside, I do enjoy the model.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I think he looks badass, if I do say so myself.
Hmm.
It's hard to mess up when you're basically a chaplain.
Right.
Color scheme just writes itself. But that was Age of Sigmar. Moving on there, we go to the next thing we got. We got Sylvaneth model. And I don't know. Over these past years, with the release of Sylvaneth models coming out, it makes me wish I picked up Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
Their design is just so cool. And they get the all the bug models. I just and this, if I could paint like that, man, I would be very proud of myself in that army. But yeah, I like this model. I enjoy it. I think it
I
looks
really like it.
cool.
Yeah. No, he's super cool. My buddy who's starting Sylvaneth. But I mean, by starting, I mean he has like 2,000 points he needs to build that he got over the years. But we're
It sounds like
doing
a
our mini
normal.
escalation, and he's trying to get that painted, and he's in love with this model. So definitely increasing the hype. And yeah, it's really cool. It's a good kind of Kurnoth Hunter on a monstrous mount, and looks like he also comes in a box with other models, which is, I guess, the way going forward. But I mean, hey,
Hey,
at least
you gotta sell the
the
model
models are
somehow.
cool. Yeah, but I like him. I'm with you. He's super cool.
Yeah. If I didn't have a million other projects, I'd probably pick them up. But I can't justify it. Can't justify the purchase since I hardly play Age of Sigmar as it is. But GW knocking it out of the park so far with Age of Sigmar, which is pretty much the standard on the models. Anything from Age of Sigmar to Underworlds to Warcry. So give you give you a round of applause right there, GW. Good job, good job. Yeah, it's just such a cool model.
Such a
Moving
cool
on.
model.
Uh, Obviously they revealed the Dawnbringers book, part 3. Uh, just goes into a few things here. We get to see the roving maw battle trait, which is those undead ogres. Yeah, not much to discuss here since we're not really into this yet. So, Dawnbringer book, it's coming out, part 3. Moving on. Kill Team. Now, I'm very sad that I didn't get my catechins jungle
But
setting. But John was right. And you know what? I'm happy. Because we got ourselves some new striking scorpions.
we did, and they are freaking cool.
Oh, they're great. And it just brings me great joy because I know what's coming around the corner.
What's going around the corner? Oh, because it's coming around the corner. I see.
Yeah. Karandris will finally get a new model.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when they updated the Banshees, they brought Jane Czar back.
Sorry.
So now that they're updating the Scorpions, they gotta be bringing back
Oh yeah.
Karandris.
Oh yeah. Interestingly, the the unit doesn't have any variations in terms of like kill team. There's the unit leader, and then everyone has a chainsword and pistol.
Well, I
So
mean,
apparent,
that's a Scorpion unit,
right?
unfortunately.
So apparently, this Eldar kill team is an aspect warriors kill team. So you'll be able to mix and match different aspect warriors, which is where the loadouts come in.
Hmm.
which is kind of cool if you own aspect for it. Now, if you're starting it, well, you only get scorpions in this box, but hey, it's new scorpions, right?
It's new scorpions. What more do you need?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good. I like them. It's not too big of a drastic change. Will I
Hmm.
pick them up though? That is the real question. I mean, I already have 20 scorpions, so I don't know if I need
Maybe not.
another 10. And I got the classic 10 from like 4th edition. And when they got updated to the Predator model. But they're so goddamn cool. So maybe I'll pick
Maybe
up
need
some.
30.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe if they come with Corendris.
Oh yeah.
And then of course we got the Scout Squad, which is
Yeah, surprisingly absent from the Space Marine release, but I guess this is where they are. So yay scouts.
they're kind of just there.
Yeah.
They don't really not really that cool, to be honest. Unfortunately, when you compare it to the Scorpions, I'm sorry,
Right,
I'm a
right.
bias, but
No, totally fair. I mean, I like them, but yeah, they are not as cool as Striking Scorpions for sure.
yeah, I'm extremely happy with that, obviously. And then we got some terrain pieces as well that they showed off. The new little map area, and that was about it for Kill Team. So Kill Team coming in strong with this release right here. At least if you're an Eldar player. I know everyone hating on Eldar right now.
Haters gonna hate.
But alas, we get to go to the biggest reveal of this event, which was Old World, and they had a lot more than a special character on a Pegasus.
I have a lot to say about this reveal, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, my reveal is completely out because I said Tomb Kings. Your reveal was to do the launch box, I believe,
Hmm.
and the Pegasus character. So that was the predictions that were put out there. Let's take a look at, shall we? We'll just start off with the first model here, the Pegasus Hero. The first thing John called right there.
Yep, because he was leaked a while ago. Well, the sprue was.
And model looks like a pain in the ass to contain.
It is beautiful though. Like this model. So actually, this model, the next three models make me want to play Bretonians. Like I immediately when I said like I'm gonna play Bretonians, and then the rest of the article showed up, and I'm like maybe not. So, anyways, this is a great model. I was actually even thinking of ways of implementing this in a Cities of Sigmar. Maybe not, but dang, it is so cool. This is like just modern Warhammer fantasy. Like it's a modern sculpt. It's in plastic. The details are great. It's a Bretonian, right? There's no, and it's the classic design cues. They didn't take any liberties with changing the design. They just kind of kept what makes Bretonians Bretonian and left it, and he's amazing. So yeah, I he's great.
Yeah, if I recall, Bretonians were one of two books that were never updated for fantasy. It was
3.
three. It was Wood Elves, Bretonians.
No, what else are updated?
They
They
were
had a
up.
hard. Hmm.
They
I
were.
have I have all the 8th edition books. What else is thankfully one of them?
Oh, then who was the other? Who were the
Oh, we're
three?
gonna guess. Make a guess. There's 3.
I only thought it was two. I thought it was Bretonians and Wood Elves.
It's 3.
Uh, well, that depends. Are you counting Chaos Dwarves?
No, I'm not counting Chaos Storms. There are 3 armies without a hardback book, which makes me sad because I want all. I wanted. I know it's a completionist, right? But anyways, yeah, there's 3.
Go ahead and tell me.
It's Skaven and Beastmen.
Yeah, well, Beastmen were always a
Yeah,
gimmicky army.
Beastmen. I get it. Skaven is weird because like they're a very popular army. They're in the starter set too, so I'm shocked they didn't get a book. But yeah, it is those.
I mean, they got all the hard times, all the end times stuff.
Yeah, right,
That's why Skaven never appeared on my radar.
right. But yeah, so Bretonians did not get a hardback book, but they are getting this amazing looking model.
I mean, that's what Bretonians really, Bretonian players really wanted, right? Was obviously updated rules to not be back in what edition were they? Like fifth edition,
Fifth, I think. Yeah,
fifth or
the
sixth?
game ended in eighth.
Yeah, updated rules and obviously updated scopes that other armies were getting, but now's your time to shine, Bretonian players. After what, two
More than a decade.
decades?
Yep.
2 decades, you guys are finally getting your W.
Gosh, it's with an asterisk. W with an asterisk.
W with an asterisk,
Yeah.
according to
You
John.
also, you also get the BSB, Battle Sand Baron Pegasus, also in plastic, looking great.
Yep, we're getting that. Then we're getting the Knights of the Realm on foot,
This is a new unit. This is not in fantasy.
which is why I was like, it just seems wrong, given what Bretonians are, which I understand. You know, there's only so much you can do with a whole mounted uh
Yeah.
army. So a whole new army. I mean, a whole new foot unit just to branch out the range makes sense, but just seems wrong. I feel like the knight should always be mounted on something. But what are your thoughts? I assume this is one of the models that you liked as well.
Oh yeah, this also make I agree. I first of all I agree with you. I think that Bretonians have that image of the cavalry army, which also helps the deflation later. But yeah, it's a cavalry army, so it's you not common to see like the knights on foot, but it's some variety. They're in total war, and even historically, which Bretonia just draws a lot of inspiration from. I mean, knights did fight on foot, so yeah, I think it's cool that they have the unit. The unit looks beautiful as well. Clearly again a modern plastic unit, well proportioned. So looks great. Again, could probably fit in Cities of Sigmar. So I don't know, maybe I'll get him for that. Who knows? But either way, this is yeah, it's so cool. Now you could say it's kind of ostentatious. There's a lot of detail, filigree, and all that. But I mean, it's Bretonia. I think that checks out. The fact that it's just two units too is kind of cool. Kind of like human chaos warriors, right? Where the sword and shield, and you got the halberd, full armor. Yeah.
I mean, you would expect them to be able to fight on foot. They are knights after all.
Hmm.
But moving on to our next one here of the halberds. Let me just show that off real fast there. We got the that's the champion and the banner.
Yep, for the unit.
Then we
So it's
got
a fully customizable unit, and like the old style where the arms are separate from the torsos, and you can mix and match and stuff, which is cool.
mhm. And then we got classic Pegasus Knights here.
All right, this is where I get sad. Like the rest of this, like,
Well, you don't like the
dude,
old models?
geez, like these look like so bad, and just imagine you're playing Bretonia and you have this new badass looking Bretonian lord on his Pegasus 2023 plastic, and then he's leading these like losers in their 1990s Pegasus. They're the size of like grots. Like
Uh,
man, that is such a boner kill for a lack of to be crass about it. Like my gosh, this is wow.
that's the nostalgia factor right there.
Gosh, this is so bad, man. And then I'm just gonna keep going here because I'm just gonna rant the whole time.
All
And we got
right.
the Pegasus Knights.
I'm
You got
looking
the
at.
Knights of the Realm, which is your standard cavalry in
Yep.
plastic, but it is the old models. This is the same thing back when we started playing fantasy, Matt. Like this is the same freaking Knights of the Realm. And for a cavalry army, your regular cavalry just looks bad. I mean, yeah, it's a classic kit, but just update it. Like make it look like the new Cities of Sigmar cavalry. Because wow, like ugh. And just compare them to the knights on foot. Like this is the same unit, right? Except one's on a horse, one's on foot, and
They're not the
man,
same.
they're not the same in terms of like the model quality. Because and then you get the men at arms and the peasant bowmen, which if these are bad, that's fine. They're the peasants, right? You know, like if the cavalry were updated and if the Pegasus Knights were updated and the rest, the peasants were the same, I'd be fine with that. And it makes sense. You know, peasants are these ugly losers next to the shining knights in badass armor. And but the fact that the knights themselves are also the same quality is like ugh, does not make me wanna play this army at all because wow. Now they did say that they're gonna have bigger boxes. So instead of like a 10-man box that you have to buy like three times, they'll just have one 30-man box. So, regiment is the proper size, quote unquote.
Good.
And you don't have to buy multiple boxes. So
That's good to hear because
yeah,
I remember buying lots of boxes.
yeah. But yeah, man, this is so lame. It's such cool models to lead the army, and then you got your core, which is the cavalry. Just gosh, it's so bad.
We'll talk about the last
Uh,
model here before I give my final thoughts.
yeah,
You got the Handmaiden.
animated lady, yep, cool special character in resin. She looks cool actually. Tactical rock there with a flat tactical flower, but hey, at least it's modern.
Yep.
So is the other stuff that you revealed, like the battle standard bearer, what's it called, the questing knight paladin. Yeah, looks great.
Got the Field Trebuchet as well.
Trebuchet also looks
Old.
terrible, but at least it's a peasant artillery unit.
Yeah. So I must say, I feel the same way as John. I mean, I'm not too hyped about the HD models. It's kind of whatever. But
Hmm.
the fact that we're revamping Old World, bringing it back, kind of deal, and we're still using models 2 decades old, uh, feels uh feels bad. Okay, I feel very let down. I would hope that things would be HDified, especially
Yeah,
Bretonians. Like, I would say Skaven wouldn't need it, whatever. But I mean, even Skaven needs updated models as well. And Bretonians, I feel like would be the probably the easiest army to HDify. Maybe Tomb Kings would probably be easier, given skeletons are not as detailed. But that gives me a lot of false hope that Tomb Kings will be any better.
I hope for Tomb Kings they fix the skeleton infantry, maybe also the cavalry. But if you fix the skeleton infantry, I think the army is saved because all the other stuff is modern, like Tomb Guard are modern, Necropolis Knights. I mean, a shop here old, but like you got a lot of plastic units that are
No, Shopty got updated because they got the
oh the
bow
great bows.
variant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got the
It,
Necro Sphinx, the War Sphinx. At least those are new plastic. But if they keep the skeletons the same, that would be kind of lame. Really hope they update the skeletons.
yeah, please no connecting torso to legs. That was
Oh gosh, that's terrible.
you gotta connect it on the spine. Oh
Ugh,
god.
ugh.
Yeah, I did that. I have 100 archers. Or was
Mhm.
it 80? I have 80 archers. Back when Kalita Poison Rain was a thing.
Yep.
Ah, I miss that army. Never the same. But yeah. I'm disappointed that none of these models are HDified except obviously the new ones, and the characters are updated. Peasants. I mean, no one really cares about the peasants, but I'm sure people would have liked it if they were updated to be a little bit better looking. But when I think Bretonians, I think knights, and if the basic cavalry looks like this, ooh, not good. I need better standards is what I'm getting at here, and I expect better from GW. But you know, this is for, you gotta reel it back, and you gotta remember what old world is for. It's for all those people who really loved fantasy and want to use
Yeah.
their old models. So keeping these old models means they don't have to replace them with updated models. They could just be like, I have these models already. Plop on the table. Let's play a game. And then it forces other people to buy these models as well, which I don't see why they didn't go the Primaris route on this one, but it's fine. Be like, yeah, you can still use your old Knights of the Realm, but then here are these other Knights of the Realm, just a little better looking than what I'm looking at on my screen right now. But despite this, you know, Old World got a lot of stuff going for it right now. Still got a lot of hype behind it. Still no idea when it's coming out.
Early 2024, apparently. There was a leak that apparently it's February, which is kind of an odd time for this to come out, but they did say early 2024, so that's all we have, which isn't too specific, but at least we have some kind of timeline.
Early 2024. Well, maybe it's February then. It makes me
Yeah,
wonder when Horse or 30 Epic 30K is gonna be coming out,
good question. I don't know.
because I would have predicted, or as we already predicted when we talked about the tanks, early 2024.
Right.
But okay, well, interesting. Let's see, February, so that means LVO would probably be the announcement of its launch date, if I had to guess. Since that is going to be January 18th through the 21st. On my calendar right now. Yeah, 18th through the 21st. So if it is going to come out February, I assume that's when it's going to be announced, is LVO. But I think that's all the articles. What would you give the preview?
Like an 7 or 8, mainly because it's not stuff I wanted. I think I always put myself in the shoes of like if I played this faction, would I want this? And for the most part, I'm going through it. Like if I played Necrons, love this model. If I played Admech, maybe. If I played Stormcast, well, I do kind of play Stormcast. Doesn't really hype me, even though it's a cool model. If I played Sylvaneth, instant pickup. If I played Eldar, instant pickup. I play Space Marines, maybe want these scouts, maybe not. I mean, the Bretonian one is such a coin flip because again, like the new stuff is amazing. Like, gosh, this really makes me want to play Old World. But the fact that they're reusing old stuff is really kills the hype. So I'm gonna give it like a 7 or 8.
Uh, yeah, I would give it a 7. I wouldn't go any higher, wouldn't go any lower. A 7
Mm-hmm.
is good enough for me.
That's fair.
And I mean, it's really brought up because of the Eldar, but again, bias. But I mean, The AdMech, kind of stupid looking in my opinion. Age of Sigmar, everything looked good in Age of Sigmar, so that brought it up. Old World, don't really care about because none of it was Tomb Kings. And I mean, did I forget something? I don't think so. Yeah. So I just give it a 7 because yeah, Scorpions is the only thing that got me really excited. Something I didn't see coming. I honestly thought it was gonna be something else, but that was a pleasant surprise. That is that. We got some other leaked news that you found, John.
Yes.
Pull this up. I'm gonna pull up the 3 models here. Want to tell me what I'm looking at here?
Yes, that is a new Flesh Eater Quartz unit. So it looks like they're kind of armored and they have halberds. Now, not all of it is new. They're comparing it with the old stuff, but if you look at the first picture, that I believe is new, especially the guy with the halberd on the right, the guy
Mm-hmm.
with the helmet. That's a new unit. And the second pick has them compared to some of the other stuff, like the basic kit and the Underworlds thing. But yeah, that's the new Flesh Eater's Court unit that I've seen or talked about as being leaked.
Interesting. It's not a Underworlds team, is it?
No, because we already had, well, no, because it's a multi kit. The
Got
sprue
it.
was leaked a few months ago, and it was a multi kit.
It's just throwing me off with the Underworlds
Yeah,
base there.
no, for sure.
Interesting. Okay. More Flesh Eater Quartz coming in. Coming at you hot. And I think that's it in terms of all news that we have. Is there anything else you have out there?
I think that's it.
Alright then, well. Let's get to our hobby rant section, shall we?
Yeah.
So then I saw an interesting video from good old Chapter Master Valrak.
Okay.
It tickled my fancy because he had said second wave of Eldar. And it's very promising on what's coming out. Obviously, it's all rumors, but given his track record, I tend to lean more into his rumors than other people, just because it's generally been right. Obviously, he's been wrong about his favorite Primarch Dorn coming back a couple of times, but yeah, in the future here, it's looking like all the Phoenix Hordes are gonna be finally redone sometime this 10th edition. It's pretty much all. It's pretty much all he's got. He doesn't have any dates or anything.
Hmm.
But the rumor is the Phoenix Hordes are all gonna be redone.
That makes sense because all the aspect warriors need to be redone anyway. So those things were like the what's it called, the track is leading to that, where we had banshees, we had strike, we're having striking scorpions, we had dark reapers, shining spears. It's only a matter of time before warp spiders and dire avengers get that treatment.
Well, funny you should say that. Because fire dragons, warp spiders, and obviously scorpions are all being redone, and swooping hawks are rumored to be a kill team. Rumored again,
That
all,
would be
all,
funny.
all with a grain of salt.
That would be funny if all the kill teams are just aspect warriors and then some other kill team.
Yeah, it's funny. He also said that it's also Vespid kill team coming out, so that'll be interesting to see as
Okay,
well. Uh, but the most interesting thing that was rumored was a Warp Spider Phoenix Horde.
that's new.
That is new. I don't know how I feel about that. It'd be very cool to have one. Don't know what he don't know what he would be able to add to the current warp spiders, but
Mhm.
uh, that will be a whole new character coming to the Eldar range.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, that means what? Every aspect will have a Phoenix Lord except for Shining Spears, I believe. So that, yeah, every aspect will have one except for the Shining Spears. I think the only thing that wasn't confirmed was that Dire Avengers being redone. So
Hmm.
Dire Avengers will still be what they are, though honestly they're not that old of a kit when they got redone, but I
Yeah,
understand of HDifying it. But that was nice. I was very happy. Uh Scorpions in the kill teams already proven to me that Corandus is coming out this, no, not this year. Obviously, when the Codex releases for Eldar, so that's all I needed. But definitely gonna pick up the rest of the Phoenix Lords when they come out. So, Eldar, you're already eating really good at the tournament scene. You know, calm down a bit there. You know, don't get us hit too hard with the Nerf bat. But yeah, we're gonna be eating well for the new models. So if the rumors are true, I'm looking really forward to it.
yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, that's going on. Uh, Hobby wise, I've just been painting. At least one model a day. I can't be like John. I can't paint a whole army in one day, one night. For me, my attention span says one model. One model for me, and my dopamine goes, good job. You did good. Go get yourself a cookie. And that's what I
Hey,
do.
it's progress, so
Okay. Anything to get all these models off my desk. That is all I need to do. But yeah, doing that, obviously, I didn't get to do any playing any games of anything, but this week we'll be returning back to the status quo, so I'll probably get some 40k games in. I gotta get ready because LVO,
that's right.
it's coming up. It's funny how fast that popped up. Like, oh wow, I only got like 6 weeks
Right.
to
Rush this.
start getting competitive because I did buy the competitive ticket,
Mm.
which means I am probably gonna get my ass slapped. So I gotta start focusing down and start tightening up my lists and get a few Craft World models painted up and based. So that'll be my next project after I finish my table project here full of models. But and then of course I got to do your 500 Age of Sigmar models, so I had to change up my list a bit. But I got like 16 more models to paint, so so much to do.
Dang. I have like 26, 27 models to paint, 28 models to paint. Oh man.
I'm just lucky that I painted some of my Night Haunt back in the day, but
Mm.
it's such an easy army to paint. But I just
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I could probably knock this out in one night. I just like I don't want to do this right now.
Gotta do it.
But I gotta get ready for that. So luckily that project won't take as long.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah. What about you, man? What have you been up to?
Yeah, just trying to paint the Cities of Sigmar. Finished the next gen 30k league. I got the award for best trader for the finale.
Best trader?
Yeah, best trader. Because there's traders and loyalists, so we do the slides and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was
Got
able
it.
to get best trader for the finale. Um, Yeah, gonna start on Dark Angels for the next one and Epic, so that's gonna be a fun time. Right now, I'm just working on the Cities of Sigmar, and yeah, it's a lot of models, but I don't know if I can finish on time, but I will paint as much as I can. Yeah, there's a lot of these models, and they're not hard to paint. They do have a lot of detail and stuff. So
That's how it always is.
yeah,
The more HDFI they are, the more detail you gotta put in them.
yep, exactly.
Well, that's
But yeah,
cool.
just doing that, playing some Legion. Have a Shatterpoint event I'm hosting on Sunday. Probably gonna end up playing in that because the game's kind of mellowed out in terms of like the hype. So probably not gonna sell like last time.
Well,
But that's it should be a fun event.
now
What's
that
up?
it's been a while, how is Shatterpoint playing out?
Um, it's the game. I think in terms of army building, there's a lot of units now, which is good. The two things that I think the game are missing are one, original trilogy units, which are coming. We have Vader, Luke, Han, Ewoks, all this stuff coming eventually. I mean, we've seen the models that are coming out. It's need to actually come out next year. So we need that because as much as Clone Wars is cool, people like Clone Wars. I think original trilogy is still like the beating heart of Star Wars, and that's what people kind of want. So yeah, I think once that's out, it'll be more. We'll see a spike in popularity. And the other thing the game needs, big thing, is more missions. Right now, there's one mission. They're releasing another mission set next month, but it's just different layouts for objectives. I mean, there's like twists in like the 40K sense or Warhammer sense for the missions, but for this new mission pack, but it's still like hold the objectives kind of thing. Not like Legion where there's different kinds of hold the objectives, there's like hostages, there's like end game scenarios, there's like score every turn and stuff. So not that kind of. It's not going to be different from that, but at least there's going to be something new
Mm-hmm.
coming. I hope there's more coming, even with a second mission pack. Two missions is not a lot, I think, for the game. So yeah, I mean the core rules are great, the units are great in terms of mechanics. We just need more missions to keep the game more fresh.
Well, that's kind of crazy that it only launched with one mission.
Yeah, one mission. I mean, it's like our when I say mission. So how the game works is when you so first, so each mission pack has a set of objective tokens that are laid out in a specific way. So for this first one, it's 9 objective tokens, right? And they're laid out in a 3 by 3 kind of grid. Three tall, 3 wide, and then and the game has 3 rounds, and each round you draw a mission card from a randomized deck. So, and the deck indicates which objectives are active. So not all 9 are going to be active. Maybe the ones in the middle and one in each corner. Maybe the ones in the middle going horizontally or diagonally, right? And then after the first person wins that round, you go to the next round, and then different objectives turn on and some turn off. So there is kind of variety there, but there's only one set of that, if that makes sense. There's only one card pack, mission pack.
Got it.
So even though there's like a variety, it's only like I think 4 or 5 cards per, I guess set, which is there's 3 sets, round one, round two. So I guess 5 cards per round. So it's not a lot, and if you play a lot, you probably have played through all the missions. And yeah, and again, it's not that it's. I mean, yeah, again, there's different cards, but it's not like the mission is radically different. It's still hold these objectives, just different layout. So the hope is the new objective set will add some variety, but even then, it's still the same. Hold this objective at the end of the turn. If you hope you score this much, right? I do wish there was something different, like I like the hostage thing from Legion. Maybe like even like a kill points mission, because some characters are really good at killing other characters, not necessarily holding objectives. So maybe something like that,
I
or
thought
maybe
units didn't
like
really die in Shatterpoint.
oh, sorry. I mean, like if you KO someone or if you wound them, then you get points, something like that. So some
Oh, okay.
characters are really good at like wounding others, like Vader, um, Grievous. I mean, I guess Grievous has some have movement tools too, but like they're really hard, or sorry, they hit really hard, right? So I think a mission where you get points for wounding people that'll call for more aggressive teams, right? In terms of
Hmm.
damage dealing. So yeah, I wish there was more like that instead of just the standard ones. But the game's not even a year old, so I'm not too concerned. But again, it would be nice to see eventually.
Of course, you want to see the growth of the game go to a
Exactly.
healthy
Yeah.
state.
Yeah. And people have compared it to Marvel Crisis Protocol, where the first year of the game was kind of just, it was neat. People didn't really think it was a radically amazing game, but after a year, as it got more content, the game kind of picked up to like the juggernaut that it is now. So I think that's what people predict for Shatterpoint is as it gets more releases and more missions, it's going to become more and more popular. So, but yeah.
Well, that's what I would hope, right?
Hmm.
More and more popular, better the game, better the rules, better the models, bigger community.
Exactly.
Well, very cool, very cool. How many people do you think would come to your tournament Sunday?
Probably like at most like 6, including me. And last time we had 12. So, I mean, again, much surprised. Like, even like the other stores, their scenes have kind of mellowed out.
Well, I mean, hey, at least you got a store with a big community that would show up for it, so.
This is true.
But, anyways, I think that's it for us here. Unless you got any other things you want to talk about.
Oh, I did not get the new Horse Heresy book despite my contractual obligation because it's kind of bad.
What do you mean it's kind of bad?
it's just reprints of those PDFs that were released, and then
Of like the special units?
yeah, and then the Emperor's Children rules, which are also kind of bad. Like Fulgrim sucks. Full spoiler. Demon Fulgrim is terrible in Horus Heresy. That is my hot take. Because so two things. Number one, he has to charge if there's an enemy unit within 12 inches that has weapon skill 6 or higher, so like a chapter master or praetor, he has to charge that unit. And which is fine, but he also his warlord trait also says that if he has to always declare and accept challenges, and he has to be the one fighting in the challenge, which in heresy is a death sentence because you can only kill one model per turn in a challenge, even if you overkill on wounds. Now, the overkilling counts for combat res, but usually things you want to fight, because he's expensive, right? He's like 600 points, and his Death Star is probably like another 300 points. So you want to fight things that are also equivalent in points, right? But the issue is those units are probably stubborn or fearless, so the combat res won't matter. So you have the 600 point like Demon Primarch killing one model a turn, which is just yeah, that's not good. I mean, he'll overkill that model so much, but I don't think it's a good use of like 600 points. Now you could use him to like fight weaker squads to get them to like run and sweep them, but the fact that he has to charge something within 12 that has a high weapon skill is also makes it hard to do that because he'll easily get baited into charges he doesn't want to be in. So it's fluffy, but the fact that he has to challenge is I think makes him pretty bad.
Yeah, I can understand why you didn't pick up that book.
Yeah.
And
I did get the box set though, so Dark
shame to
Angels
hear
as well.
about Fulgrim there.
Yeah, I hope Angron. I mean, regular Angron has a rule where he can challenge multiple things at once, so hopefully Demon Angron has the same rule for Heresy. But yeah, it is unfortunate about Fulgrim.
Well, in your opinion, who's on the table? Who's the best Primarch?
In Melee,
In general.
it's hard to tell in general. Maybe like Alferis is up there because he has like I think the best Primarchs are the ones that give army wide bonuses. Actually, Angron gives his whole army feel no pain, which is pretty good. Like every world leader unit gets feel no pain if Angron's on the table. And Alferis like gives the whole army a special role every turn, like preferred enemy or tank hunter or whatever. But in terms of like raw melee power, Horus beats everyone, thankfully. But the second best one is actually Ferris Manus. Ferris Manus deletes everyone else except Horus in melee, which is hilarious. I think Ferris Manus beats Demon Fulgrim in melee because of his how his rules work.
How does his rules work?
So he has a brutal 3 melee weapon. So as I was talking to remind the listeners, brutal is a heresy rule where because in Horus Heresy there's no it's based on the old rules, right? So there's no damage value. Everything is damage 1 except for instant death. Now, brutal is a rule where it's brutal X and the X is a number, and it's essentially a damage value. So if you have brutal 3, you have the potential to do 3 damage. Now they can use invulnerable saves on it, but you're forcing them to make multiple saves from one attack, right? So Ferris Manus is a brutal 3 melee weapon, which is insanely good in Primarch duels because most Primarchs have like 6 wounds, right? So if you Ferris is like weapon skill 7, so he has like 7 attacks. So let's say he hits with 3 of them, he'll probably wound all 3 of them because he's strength 12. He wounds on twos, which means the enemy Primarch will have to make 9 invulnerable saves. And if you spike, they could get one-shotted, but on average they'll lose half their health and they'll die next turn. While most other Primarchs don't have brutal weapons, mostly they have like brutal 2. Like Horus is a brutal 2 weapon. I think, well, some other Primarchs have brutal 2 weapons, but Paris is brutal 3. So he just slaps people in close combat, even though he's the first one to die in the lore.
That is funny.
Yeah. But yeah,
You would think that Fulgrim would just have a insta kill against Manus.
you would think, but I guess not.
Oh. So you're not gonna pick the book up at all then? Is that what you're telling
Probably
me?
not, honestly. I'll probably like PDF it to see if the content's good. Like if the lore is good, because the reviews don't really tell you what the lore is like in the book. So I think I mentioned last cast. So like if the lore is good, that's what's gonna push me to get it. So maybe, but if it's just copy pasted the PDF, probably won't get it.
Dropping the
And
ball here, Forge World. Dropping the
I know,
ball.
I know.
Got a customer here not willing to buy the book just because of the
Ooh,
poor decisions you're putting inside of it.
tisk tisk, word rule, tisk tisk.
Oh, let us hope it has something of value in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think that is that. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and catch you all next time.
Later, everyone.